Mack Sennett's arch rival was Hal Roach, who late in the 20s unveiled an immortal team, Stan Laurel and Oliver Hardy. Ironically, as individual comedians, Laurel and Hardy had been around since the movie's early days. Laurel had once starred, but had been reduced to featured player. Hardy had never risen above supporting roles. Then in 1927, they were accidentally paired, and almost overnight became the movie's most popular comedy team. Stan and Oliver were never to find much favor with the critics, but the public loved them. When they performed an act as simple as climbing a pole to read a street sign in the dark, gales of laughter swept round the world. Not before or since has anyone scaled a wall like Oliver Hardy. The second 100 years in which they played jailbirds with a long time to roost was one of the earliest of the Laurel and Hardy comedies. Hardy had not as yet quite acquired the full roundness of physique that was to characterize him later. A couple of visiting painters knock off for lunch, and an idea creeps into Laurel and Hardy's minds. They'll turn their coats, swipe the brushes, and pretend they're painters too, before the guards discover they're gone, gone, gone. Just as freedom seems completely within their grasp, Stan and Oliver become aware of a pair of suspicious eyes. The chips are down. Their futures hang in the balance. They must prove that they're really painters. And prove it they do. In We Slip Up, Laurel and Hardy starred as henpecked husbands making an elaborate withdrawal from their suspicious wives. The boys have just explained that they're merely going to the picture show, and of course the wives believe their every word. Downtown, two young ladies are getting a shoe shine when fate and an electric fan blow them into a great adventure. No bonnet remains under a car for long, not with gallant Oliver there to retrieve it. Naturally, it was no more than hospitable for the girls to invite the boys up to dry up. And in these cozy surroundings, the spirit of fun playfully raises its tousled head. Urges the debonair Hardy. Be bohemian. Oliver is soothing his ruffled hostess when, you guessed it, in pops her boyfriend, an unforgiving character named Nasty Nate. In this emotion-charged moment, who should come prancing down the street but those human bloodhounds, the wives? The battle of the century demonstrated a rule of natural science. If someone slips on a banana peel, innocent Oliver is sure to be holding a banana. The pie in the face had been originated by Max Sennett in the earliest days of his Keystone comedies. By 1928, when this film was made, it had become a movie cliché to be avoided by the better comedy makers. Then Hal Roach produced a pie-throwing comedy to top all pie-throwing comedies, one in which every little pie had a meaning all its own, and an essentially simple act was endowed with infinite variety, like the variations on a theme in a symphony. In short, the pie-throwing comedy triumphant. This is it.